Hey guys, it's Vash. Welcome back to day 2 of my E3 coverage. Today we're going to be talking about Microsoft. They had their press conference today. We've got quite a bit to talk about, and we're going to try our best not to ramble about it too much, because it's a lot to talk about. First thing, well, before we get started, like I said, if there's something I don't talk about, it's either that I don't care or I forgot. Usually that I don't care. It's very rare when I forget to talk about something, not including Unraveled 2. That was my bad. I don't even know why I didn't write that down. But here we go. Let's just say this. With Microsoft's press conference, I would say that this is probably the best one they've had in quite a long time. There was no gimmicky stuff, no VR, no AR, no motion. It was just straight games. It was a hell of a lot better than last year's, but let's go ahead and dive in and talk about some of the stuff that interested me. First thing we want to talk about is Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite, boy, I used to be a big, huge Halo fan when I was a child Rooney. I kind of grew out of it a bit, mostly because, I don't know, my interest changed. I was really into competitive shooters when I was younger, and then I got into, like, single-player stuff. I don't really play a lot of multiplayer. Halo Infinite looks cool. I haven't played a Halo game in a long time. The last Halo game I played was 3. I think I bought 4 and 5, but I didn't play them. Because I'm good at wasting money. So, I think I bought the Master Chief Collection. I didn't open it either. I'm a terrible person. I buy a lot of stuff and I don't play it. But Halo Infinite is coming, so people big Halo fans, you got something to look forward to, and that was great. Next game we're talking about is Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. It is a game made by From Software. Looks really awesome. You can, like, it looks like From Software was like, oh, you guys made Neo? Well, I bet you we can make a better Neo. It looks like a lot of fun, how you can use, like, your grappling hook to fly all around. I'm definitely super pumped for that one. That's going to be a lot of fun. Speaking of Neo, that's another game I bought and never opened. I could probably open my own damn game store with all the shit I bought and never opened, but oh well. Fallout 76, God Howard came out, gave us a presentation of Fallout 76, which we found out that it's nothing but Skyrim 2 in disguise. And by that I mean they showed us a trailer with exactly nothing in it. They said it's a prequel to Fallout 1. It's the first Fallout, Vault 76 is the first vault they created. They showed a couple of monsters and, like, some characters walking, so it looks a lot like Fallout 4. We don't know yet if it's multiplayer or a survival game, which I don't even know why I mentioned Fallout 76, because they're going to talk about it during the Bethesda one, and that's when we'll probably know. But as of when this video is being recorded now, we don't know anything outside of the trailer that they showed us. Next, they showed us Crackdown 3, which Terry Crews is actually in the game. This game, I actually really like Cracked Smackdown. I like it. Crackdown 2 was shit. That was a game I used to play when I was really bored, and I think I got up to use the bathroom during a cutscene and came back and the credits were rolling. And that's how awesome it was. It was awful. But Crackdown 3 has Terry Crews in it. You're pretty much playing the Old Spice guy, throwing stuff and blowing things up, which I'm down with. The only thing that's kind of weird is Crackdown 3 looks more like a future Saints Row game, which is kind of funny. That's not bad. I mean, it comes out February 2019. That was probably my biggest issue with Microsoft's whole press conferences. The majority of the games they showed us come out in 2019. But Crackdown 3 looks like a game I would probably get. It looks like a lot of fun. They then showed Metro Exodus. I like Metro games. I've bought the 2 that's come out, but I've never finished them. I don't know why. I guess I lose interest by a certain point, or maybe something else comes out. I don't know, but this game actually looks pretty fancy, and that one comes out February 22nd. Another February game. There's a buttload of games coming out February 2019. They showed a Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer that apparently they showed at some event last night that they didn't reveal to people yet unless you were there. So that's kind of a new trailer, I guess. They showed a Frozen World, which we all knew what was going to come because Frozen is Frozen. They showed Tangled, which we've heard about that. They showed Monsters Inc., Hercules, and Toy Story. We do know that there is a Big Hero 6 world coming too, but Kingdom Hearts 3 actually looks like a lot of fun. Oh, and they brought back the gummy ships, because that's what we wanted. A lot of people were like, man, what happened to those gummy ships? That has a release date of January 29th, so we actually have a release date of Kingdom Hearts. It's crazy to think that it is finally coming after waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Boy, am I down. I do like me some Kingdom Hearts. Story's confusing, but I like playing it, and it's fun. The next thing they showed was Sea of Thieves. Hooray. 2 new DLCs, so now people that bought the game actually have something to do. First DLC comes out in July, second DLC comes out in September this year, one of the few things that are actually coming out this year. Crazy, right? Microsoft then announces a bunch of new companies that they're teaming up with / owning, and they're now officially with Ninja Theory. That's cool, because of Hellblade, and Hellblade's pretty good, so that's cool. Hopefully Microsoft doesn't not cancel their shit. Well, I hope they don't cancel it, because they always cancel people's games. We Happy Few, there's a new trailer for We Happy Few. This game is taking its sweet ass time coming out. It looks super interesting. Low-key, when I first saw the game, I thought it was a BioShock game. But I know they came out with a beta like a year or years ago, and I heard from a lot of people that it's just some like basic ass like survival game. But this trailer looks like we're actually getting some trailer, my bad. We're actually getting some story. So from what it looks like, it looks interesting, but I want to see gameplay. It's weird that they've been showing trailers. I think this is like the third E3 in a row that they've talked about it, and we still have not seen gameplay for the game. I know they released a beta, but usually they put gameplay in a trailer to get. There's no gameplay. I want to know what it's about, what it is, without playing a beta, because it's probably gonna be butt, and you gotta pay for it. I don't want to do that. Next thing I wanted to mention was probably the one thing that I went buck-ass wild for. There were actually 2 games at Microsoft that I went wild for, and that first one is Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition is coming to Xbox. Apparently, I heard from someone in chat while we were streaming it that like GameSpot Brazil or something like that revealed that it's going to be multi-plat. Tales of Vesperia is one of my all-time favorite RPGs, and it is great to see it back, especially with all that content that Japan was keeping from us with the PS3 release of the game. And I'm really excited to jump back into it. That was like, oh boy, all the memories just flowing back. That was a really good game, and I'm super excited for Tales of Vesperia Definitive. Next thing he talked about was Division 2. Cool. Game Pass. Sounds good to be true. Game Pass is they're like, oh, this is for people that there's so many good games. We release so many good games, but you just have to pick. Well, why do you have to pick? You can get the Game Pass. It's $10 a month. You can play video games. It's kind of like video game Netflix. That's pretty cool. That might be, that's really awesome. That's good for people that are balling on a budget. So I'm really excited for that. I'm excited for 2 reasons. One, that people will actually get to play some video games without having to have their wallet torn in half. And 2, if this ends up being super successful, we can actually look for Sony possibly doing something like that for their PS4 games. Because they have PlayStation Now, which is just kind of like older games, and like low-key PlayStation Now kind of runs like butt. But that was then. I don't know if it runs any better now, but I know when I tried it out, I got a trial at E3 one year, and it was kind of booty. It ran pretty bad. Because PlayStations don't really, consoles in general don't really handle internet all that well, unless you have a cable, which is fine. Division 2. Ugh. Division 2 just looks like Division 1, but now you're like in a jungle. It's kind of like a jump between Lost Planet 1 and 2, go from snow to the woods. They showed a big trailer for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I wasn't a super big fan of the second game, so I'm not super excited for the third one, but I mean, I guess I might as well. I thought it was weird that in the trailer that certain scenes Lara looked like godlike, like really good, like graphically, and then certain scenes of the game just looked like shit, but maybe that was just like my stream being bad quality, who knows, but Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I mean, I guess I might as well. Why not? I don't know if it's going to be exclusive to Xbox. It might be. If so, then that'll be a reason to buy it on that. Other than that, I'll just wait for the PS4 version or something. Next game they talked about was they showed off Session, which we thought was Skate 4 and got super excited, but there's a new skateboarding game called Session that's coming out. That's awesome. There hasn't been a skateboarding game in a while, an actual good one. I was hoping it was Skate 4 because Skate 3 was godlike with all the bugs, and it would have been a lot of fun reliving all of that mess that we call Skate 3. Next game we're going to talk about is Devil May Cry 5. Oh my god, when I first saw the trailer, I thought that it was a sequel to DMC because the character they show in the beginning looks like white-haired DMC Dante. But as you continue on, you see him pull out as a robot hand, and then they show Dante at the end, but you don't get a good look because it's zoomed out, and It looks so good, and I'm really excited because I really like Nero, and Devil May Cry 4 was a really, really, really fun game. Devil May Cry 5 looks good, and I'm super excited. The funny thing about that is that if you go on the internet, you'll notice that a lot of companies, and by that I mean there's like 2, are being like, oh look, Devil May Cry brings back Dante with his signature white hair and his robot arm, because I guess people never played 4, or they just don't know how to read. But Devil May Cry 5 is coming, and that's super exciting. I do love me some Devil May Cry, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to that. That, I believe, has a spring 2019 release date. That's another thing I wanted to mention, is that the majority of games are coming out in 2019, either February or another time. They only showed maybe 2 or 3 games, or maybe even 4, that are actually coming out this year, which was actually the most disappointing thing about Microsoft's press conferences. This is a bunch of shit we're not going to be able to play for a long time. They showed Jump Force, which is another Shonen crossover, like Shonen Jump, you know, like with like Goku and One Piece and Naruto and stuff like that. Shonen games, we don't really get a lot of them. There are a lot in Japan, but we rarely get them. And when we do get them, they're really like, they're usually 3D brawlers, like 3D fighters. And they're usually watered down to hell, so they have like no depth to them, and it's mostly just like, oh, you get to play as Goku, and you could beat up Luffy and stuff. I'm sure that a lot of people that are really into anime are gonna love this game, and I'm positive that if this game came out when I was in like 8th or 9th grade, when I was really into anime, I'd probably just be pissing all over the place. So Jump Force looks interesting. Everybody's just kicking the shit out of Frieza the whole trailer though. It's kind of dirty. There's other bad guys to beat on. They showed Dying Light 2. It looks interesting. It looked like it was mostly focused around the people and how like the decisions you make can affect like how people react and what they do, and how you may attract like bad guys to like the city you live in. Troy Baker voices the main character, which are you surprised at all? No, not really. But they said like at nighttime the zombies come. I didn't really like Dying Light 1, mostly because I played a lot of Dead Island, and I don't like it. So, has there ever been a time where you played a game so much that you get sick of it, and then when another game comes out that's similar to it, you just feel like you've played it before? That's exactly how it felt playing Dying Light. It just felt like I've played this before, but I know I haven't because I've never played it before. But everything felt too familiar, and that's why. I mean, Dying Light didn't get along too well, but I mean, Dying Light 2, I'm sure, will probably be just as good. I think it'll have co-op. I hope, but that's another game that's probably coming out 2019. Just Cause 4, they showed off. Oh boy. Just Cause gets pretty silly. Just Cause is hilarious. It's like Grand Theft Auto, but like more ghetto, and there's a lot of explosions, and it's actually pretty fun. Just Cause 2, I got bored with pretty early on, but Just Cause 3 was really good. Just Cause 3 just had really bad loading times, but they eventually fixed that. That game, Just Cause 4, has a release date of December 4th, I believe, 2018. So that's one of the few games we're getting in 2018. They then showed a Gears Pop mobile game, because that's exactly what we want. Gears and Pop Vinyls making a mobile game, that's awesome. So they kind of swept that under the rug really quick, and then announced a Gears Tactics game that's going to be on PC. It looks a lot like XCOM. I love tactics games, and I like Gears, so I think that's going to work out really good. They then show us an extended trailer for Gears 5, which stars Kate from Gears 4, which I don't remember anything about her. I recently played Gears 4, like last year, when the game went on sale. I played it on PC, and it ran beautifully, by the way. It was just a pain in the ass to actually download the game. But, I don't really remember much of Kate. I just remember the little twist at the end that involved Kate. But I don't really remember a lot about her. But apparently you play as her, and there's a black dude following you around that I feel like I should know who he is. But I don't remember. I don't remember anything about Gears 4, honestly. I just remember like bits and pieces, but I don't remember any of the characters because I low-key just didn't really care for them. I like Marcus. He's memorable. Maybe it's because you just play as him for 3 games straight, and I guess his son, I remember his son. I don't know, man. Maybe I gotta play it again. But you play as Kate because she's like, I gotta find out my true nature, some shit. There's like this creature that's like taking over the old robots, because in Gears 4 you fought a lot of like robots, like unmanned, like android things. And so now there's this like new creature that's like taking over their bodies, and so you're fighting a lot of those, and it looks really, really weird. But Gears 4 looks interesting. I mean, not Gears 4, Gears 5. My bad. Gears 5 looks interesting. I guess I'll eventually get it. I like Gears of War, but I'm not super hyped. But I mean, that's cool that we got a Gears game coming. And then the last trailer they showed before they left is a trailer for Cyberpunk 2077, which is a CD Projekt Red game. And boy, if you guys know what they do, if you're familiar with their work, we are in for quite a ride. At first I thought it was Watch Dogs 3, because it was very similar, but then, you know, they showed the CD Projekt stuff. That actually looks pretty decent. It looks like a very entertaining, like interesting world that you would want to dive into, but judging by the stuff they've done in the past, it's probably going to be a long time before we see anything, because apparently they've been working on this game since 2014, and we just now got a trailer. I heard we got a trailer last year, but I don't remember there being a trailer, but we don't have gameplay yet. Overall, Microsoft, their press conference was pretty good, and I'm excited to see games that I actually want to play. I forgot to mention Ori and the Blind Forest. Or there's a new Ori and the Blind Forest game. It's called like Ori and something. I didn't write it down. For some reason, I just remembered it. Why didn't I write that down? Damn it. I forgot another game. It's like Ori and the Will-O-Wisp or something. Let me Google it. There's a new Ori game comes out that looks really good. I want to play the first one. I bought it and I didn't play it. That's another game. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing that shit. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is a new Ori game. Looks pretty good. I buy so many games and don't play them because I don't have time. That's disappointing. That's another game that I should probably take some time to play. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what you guys had to say. I usually put out a tweet to ask what you guys are most excited for at E3. Let's see what you guys had to say. So first of all, let me say what I gotta say. Microsoft did a pretty good job. I'm actually very impressed with the stuff that they showed us. There's a lot of games I'm looking forward to. I'm actually really excited to actually have games to play on my Xbox One, because I couldn't even think of anything that I bought last year to play on it. So I'm looking forward to actually using my console, which is crazy. It just sucks that I'm probably not going to get much use out of it this year, because the majority of the games come out next year, with only like Just Cause and Tomb Raider, and like there's only just a few games that are actually coming out in 2018. Everything else is next year. That's my biggest issue with Microsoft's press conferences. The majority of the games, we're not going to be getting them for quite a bit. So that's what I've got to say. Out of 10, I'd give it like a 6 or a 7. Mostly because they actually had a lot of games, and they are a lot of games that I actually might play. It's above average. It was an above average. It was way better than last year's. I guess it just comes down to if the kind of stuff interests you, but in my opinion, I'm sure a lot of you guys are a lot different. Maybe you guys hate it. I know there's a lot of people that just don't like Xbox. I know that the majority of the games we even talked about weren't even exclusives, but I mean, I'm just looking forward to stuff to play on my Xbox. So, let's see what you guys had to say on Twitter. See, dope, hyped for DMC5, it's time to party. Best one in years. Goddamn, they nearly lost me at the Funko Pop Gears shit. Really excited for Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. Honestly, they killed it. Game after game, was really excited from start to finish. 8.5 out of 10, super solid. Pros were a solid lineup of games, strong acquisitions of companies that build their future, pulled a Sony and talked very little and showed games, interesting partnerships, Cyberpunk ending. Their cons are there was a lack of exclusives coming within this year, which I agree. Someone said 9 out of 10, Jump Force, Just Cause 4, Halo Infinite, Cyberpunk, and Nier. I forgot to mention. Thank you for reminding me. They're bringing Nier to Xbox. I played Nier on PlayStation. I didn't really dig it, but I know a lot of people like it, so it's glad. I'm happy that a lot of people that have Xboxes that wanted to play Nier can now play it. That's really awesome. Xbox still, DMC, Jump Force, Cyberpunk, Dying Light 2 looks pretty decent. Capcom and CD killed it, Sony better have the RE2 remake. I'm glad the next Halo is coming to PC. I hope it has nice controller support to play hours and hours of multiplayer. Also, DMC5 looks really good. It was freaking awesome. They did great. I'm so excited for DMC5 and Jump Force. It was way better than EA's, that's for sure. Battletoads is my winner. Just give me my Resident Evil 2 remake because I just got my DMC5. Came in hard with those world premieres. Crazy stoked for DMC5 and Shadows Die Twice. Better than EA. Man, it was alright. All the fanboys are ruining it for me, but DMC5, Dying Light 2, and Cyberpunk really stood out to me. Kinda ass in my opinion. Cyberpunk and that session looked cool and all, as well as Gears Tactics. The rest of it though, I'm not really interested. He's not interested in what they got, but he's looking forward to Tactics. I'm looking forward to that too. They had some heat, even though a lot of games were exclusively showed. At least 3 games I'm gonna get day 1. Devil May Cry, I'm gonna cry if they fuck it up, God help me. And Cuphead, oh, they announced Cuphead DLC. Battletoads, we got some Battletoad love. They killed it with the DMC5 reveal. It was cool. They gave me no reason to go to Xbox though. Take away all the multiplats they showed, and they barely had anything. Just more Gears and Halo, and Forza. That's true. Some stuff I'm super hyped about is Shadows Die Twice, Nier Automata, and Cyberpunk. Not feeling DMC5's aesthetic, but if it's fun to play, I won't complain. Some more Tales love. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. Enough said. I like DMC5 and Sekiro. Everything else was just kind of meh for me. So what it sounds like, DMC5 is what the majority of people are most excited for. It sucks that DMC5 isn't exclusive. We got some love for Tales of Vesperia, my personal favorite. Quite a few people excited for Nier. A lot of people excited for Cyberpunk. Overall, it seems like a very positive response. There's just a few people that just didn't really care, but they at least had 1 or 2 things that they're excited for, because when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter what console you're using. What matters is that you have games to play and that you're having fun. And that's what it's all about. That's what E3 is about. It's about seeing stuff that we are super excited to play. And with that, that is my Microsoft presentation, thoughts and impressions. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble for 22 minutes. The next one is Bethesda. I'll probably be talking more about Fallout. Hopefully they have some other interesting things. I think after Bethesda is Devolver, but I don't know, we'll see. Devolver's just, they're just the memes, you know? And then Monday, we've got the big Sony press conferences Monday, and then Nintendo is Tuesday morning. So thank you guys for hanging out. I'd love to know what you guys think in the description below. Remember also, if you would like to watch the press conferences live, I do live stream them when they're on Twitch. I guess I can put that in the description too, because a lot of people are like, I didn't know you live stream it. I also have my Twitter in there, because after each press conference I asked what you guys thought, so that we can get a gauge of what people are excited for. So that will all be available in the description for you. Thank you guys, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.